my Aries musers. So being that this is actually your first house, what does that look like? This is the house of self. So it's kind of pushing or nudging or tugging at you to nurture, get clarity on your personal brand, your identity, becoming inspired like fire, lighting the flame, expressing yourself in a very maybe unfiltered way, organic. Maybe you get all fired up. Maybe you take that bold leap of faith from the full moon. And given that this is happening or in harmonizing with Jupiter, the planet of luck, and whatever Jupiter touches, it grows. It reminds me of the rabbits in the 4 pillars of Chinese astrology, rabbits. So whether you're stepping out into the sun, the spotlight on your own, a passion, maybe taking a different empowered approach towards love.
Inshallah and Ashe. Blessings to you, my energetic beings. The divine wills, blessings to you, 300 plus magical energetic stars that you are. Are we going to hit 400 plus this month? I sure hope so. Wishing it forward. Share the excitement with your friends along with other like-minded virtual musers. Either way, thank you for joining me, being a part of my show. I do have some shorts and TikToks out for this eclipse new moon for your musing pleasure. Be sure to check back for your rising sign, absolutely 100%. But go ahead and turn on the notification bell. Hit that white rabbit. Do so right now. It's the only way that we can actually make certain that this algorithm, this tune, this frequency will give us the nutritional quotient that we all deserve, heartfelt, value quotient, the optimistic venue, the love quotient, if you will. So while we are waiting for peeps to hop on, joining us live, listen to the replay, tune in the afternoon or whatever timeline, lifeline you're on, the way you treat yourself is the way the world treats you. And isn't that the truth? Myself, I am meant to be a disruptor, disrupting the status quo. That's my gift and purpose. With that being said, our ability to create the person we are meant to be is the field of awareness that we are going to find ourselves in. So we are in a mindset of abundance, ready to fulfill the character, the image that we have already set out to achieve. But the key asset for this integration, the most valuable resource of all, is simply an enhanced version of who we already are. So are we self-loving towards ourselves? Are we in a state of gratitude for all that we have been, for ourselves or to yourself, appreciating all of the things into and out into the world at large, the galactic frontier? So continuing on this path, following through with all of the things that actually have brought us to this magical moment so far. So the moon is already in the season of Aries, rising to the point of this eclipsed new moon, crossing through Chiron, healing the wounds of a lifetime or a timeline, healing how we treat ourselves and sharing our light out into the world, and the reality of being in the moment, being in the exact place at the right time, manifesting exactly what we are intended to do. So even what we're intended to be. So we're working on becoming the being, the life, the having, the doing, our heart's intentions of who we are meant to be in this timeline, this lifetime. Picking up what I'm throwing down. So my name is Tonya D, and welcome to my virtual medicine room. And if you have yet to subscribe to my channels, please do. YouTube, where you're probably tuning in, and also my Musing with Tonya D podcast, which is out. The Season of the Witches. Are you loving the Season of the Witches? But being that we are tidying up and finishing up the season of Aries, where the root, the sacral, the force empathy, the ability to command forces through our hands. We've got an energetic center in our hands, which I talk about in Change Your Stars. So if you're curious there, join that offering online to feel this commanding power, putting it to magical use, I would hope. But before I go any further, once again, let's give a shout out to the village, my ever-growing tribe community, excelling new peeps entering the community, the village, new subscribers. I always like to give a voice of validation, a voice of acknowledgement, just recognizing that you've arrived, new friends and guests. Welcome to the village. Welcome to my show. My intention truly is to hit those 400 plus peeps before month's end. And of course, those of you that have been a part of my journey since the beginning, it really does take a community, a village, a tribe. But just gratitude and blessings to you and for you. Thanks for joining in, holding that signature seed note myself. And those of you, of course, that do tune in later, watch the replay on your timeline, just remember a comment if you do feel you need a message for your day. Sharing is absolutely another way of just paying it forward. A blessing in disguise, opening a door, a smile even. You can also find me on TikTok, a little different category happening on over there. But just remember, I'm your otherworldly shamanic reflecting assistant. You truly are your own healer. Sometimes we've got trivial pursuits, energetic hiccups, forces of adversity, and we need another worldly life coach to assist us to see things through these different set of eyes, myself included, by the way. Again, to get us out of our own magical way so our light shines brighter. And the daily snippet, what do I muse about here? Well, it's the cosmic insights, the planets doing the cosmic dance by design. I do follow the lunar energies of the moon through not just the seasons, but also the gates. And I also have another gate activated today. It's kind of topsy-turvy-ish, I'll tell you. Some weeks I've got a gate every day. Some weeks I have none for like few days. It's really an awareness. But our root channel, our physical empathy channel, our emotional feeling empathy, our feeling sister, and holding a tone, the signature hum, down into the Earth star. So are you ready to bring it into the natural realm? Gaia, Mother Earth here. The elementals, the 4 pillars. I do a mystery guest on Sundays. It's a 4 pillars elemental chart foundation to kind of choreograph your useful ingredients, whether it's colors, it could be mental, emotional, spiritual, power. There's all kinds of things that these elementals choreograph for us. Subtle energies, the chakras, the energetic centers. And I like the channels, the meridians, and the pathways as well, even out into our auric fields, and as a reflector, I do ask myself, is this the right time? And am I in the right place or with the right people? And what am I seeing that nobody else can see? What is it? What is the movement that I'm creating? What is the solution that I'm creating within that movement in that moment? But the key ingredient for today is metamorphosis, really to trust and love who we are in this galactic moment. It's the energy creation, manifestation, materialization, abundance kind of coming forth within all of those categories of abundance and values, and knowing that we are our greatest asset, that we are valuable, each and every one of us, attracting that value like a genie. If you've had a cowrie shell divination, I know many of you, I have you create another worldly character. But there's these endless possibilities of feeling all of these aspects and so much more streaming into our lives, creating a new form, a magnetic energy, attraction energy. So this at some point may feel possibly a little unfamiliar, a little uncategorized maybe, as if the ground beneath you is quaking, earth shattering, shifting, like below our feet. So as things are shifting and taking in a new form, energy to matter, just be aware, be somewhat cautious even, maybe feeling that you are safe, feeling that you're protected throughout the day. Feelings never lie, right? So in the grand scheme, the galactic treasure, the panoramic view, the cloud line view is kind of how I see that. We're kind of creating and manifesting great transformation, change in our plans of action, what we're taking out to our own personal stage of life. A new image, a character, a behavior, maybe moving them into the future for the long term, creating that habit. More than likely, you've already been feeling this transformation. I mean, I've been telling you, we're in a year of change and transformation, the doTERRA cosmology since the beginning of this year. But the greatest asset of all time is the ability to integrate, continue down the path, creating that domino effect of what we actually began. We've already begun this. Maybe we're just awakening to it now, but protecting our greatest asset again is you or me, each other, from the shards of others who try to dim our light, send us those doubting messages or self-sabotaging comments, second guessing ourselves, old habits, feelings, a pressure point. So those kind of karmic issues of the past, living more from our dharma instead of our karma, holding the frequency, the tone, the vision, where we see ourselves out into the future and committing to a seed sound, a higher octave of who we are, and really feeling the sound. So you may feel your bones shaking or quaking on the inside. That's happened for me when I was going off to meet Maladoma to do some ritual in community. It's like my spirit self was already awakening, or the Wedame, the fierce protectors of the wild. So this serves our gift and our purpose. It really is a wake-up call. It's serving as a guidance, a guide, a gatekeeper for all of the cosmic energies, the galaxy, our heartfelt intentions towards what it is our heart wants to create and make manifest in this world. So we're all here to create. And once you have your signature seed tone, the one that resonates through you and for you, beating in a different area, because we're all unique and different. It can't be the same for all of us. It'd be kind of boring. But just continue to be in a state of creation, loving and protection of what we're creating, and like literally going, oh my God, look what I did, and protecting that creation until you see the shift, the transformation begin to take form, shape, manifest right before your eyes. It's kind of alchemizing, but the manifesting becomes organic. It's a natural habit. It's become initiated. So really giving yourself time and space to integrate, initiate, while at the same time focusing your attention, what we focus on, what we hone in on, those changes of our life that we are actually creating, and holding the emotional tone, carrying it out to your auric field as if you are humming, where nothing gets in unless creator, your guardians, gatekeepers actually allows it. So it's literally staying in that frequency, energy, vibrational tone. This emotional tone that we're holding is actually the tone of our creation. It's the key ingredient to this. It's an asset assisting us and protecting it from often ourselves, so we don't self-sabotage, and also from the outer world, which creates what's called interference, the ones usually that dim our light, our starlight. So we are really manifesting great change. Change the way you see the world, and the world around you changes. So with that, just a few announcements as I've got going there. And of course, you know, I've got announcements. Of course, we have the Musing Moon meditation is actually out on the highway. And again, I've created some short little shorts to go on my YouTube shorts for each sign. Some are actually up now, but the rest will be up soon. So we do have the moon, and I'm sure you've been feeling this. I mean, as a reflector, I feel the moon probably more so than not. Yeah, and I wake up the magic hour of the moon's hour is what I would call that. And we do have the season of the witches. If you digging into my podcast, there she is, Wag the Tail. This is Shannon Grissom. She actually created an oracle deck, but didn't like that. She felt like I was calling her a witch, the season of the witch. Totally hilarious. How do you create an oracle deck and not see yourself as a person of magic? Because that's really what we're in. The doTERRA cosmology, this is the season of nature, witches, magic. That's really what it is, and we're transforming. So anyway, she's this week's audio artist. I do have a new artist coming out on Thursday in my virtual medicine room, so be sure to tune in. But anyway, the Sock Monkey Oracle deck, I did use that last week, so just remember to comment on your favorite audio room artists so I can have them back for round 2. You can listen, just Google Musing with Tonya D podcast, or go to my website, tonyad.tv/podcast, or just click podcast if you're there, Apple, Spotify, Amazon, all the channels, I believe. And again, on Sundays, and I know I haven't changed this yet, so thanks for being so forgiving and kind. I appreciate that. The Rising of the Origins, I do a mystery guest 4 pillars chart about the elementals. It's a private community, and nobody knows who you are if you're interested in being a surprise mystery guest. And we are creating, we're in the middle of creating, we're halfway there, sort of. I'm a little, I'm busy. Anyway, the secrets, or the Witcher's Way to Manifestation, I should have called it the secrets. But we all manifest differently. We all attract differently. Again, we're all unique. We have a 12th energetic center that is unique to each and every one of us. It's like our energetic thumbprint in a way. But it's about layering and building this cosmic foundation along with the elementals, so we can manifest, possibly going into the root chambers, the earth star, the physical, but we have to come from the energy world. Otherwise, things are just floating off in space and source universe, if you will. And I do cowrie shell divination. So those of you that have joined in and had your divinations, thank you for that. I hope I was of soul support for you. And if you're in need of a one-on-one, just click the link below and join me there. And Mongolia, if you're in spirited, feeling spirit, want to bring you on an adventure to work with some indigenous medicine people. Very, what's the word? Very integration, opening our eyes to a different way, again, of being in the world, culture, different. And of course, last but not least, I do have a gate activated, and I do this just for my own musing pleasure as much as yours, so you can see how much I've shifted and transformed each day and through each month. But this is gate 25 and 51 in human design. This is the gates, or the channel of initiation. So what am I initiating? So it's connecting my heart center, which is also part of my ego, my honor, my integrity, along with the J center. But this is a combination of just the energy around me. It's like some kind of striving for manifestation. So it's kind of funny that came on today. But it's about the capabilities of manifesting and accepting love in all of diversity, which I think human beings are very magical, honestly. That's why I created Change Your Stars. You know, if you don't like the star that you are, make it a new star. But this is the ability to strive, to improve, to become the best version of who I am, trying to jump into the unknown, the unparticulars, the unlimited possibilities, and also so I can motivate others. So hopefully my show today is very motivating through this path. But 51 is the gate of shock, and the 25 is the spirit of the self. So it's this energy of, I would say, it's an energy of universal, unconditional love for everything in this world. Just being competitive by nature, needing to be the first or the best is something as I empower the spirit of others. So kind of interesting. I think it's magical either way. The gates, and just grateful. Hi there. Grateful for paying attention, I guess. So, and you for tuning into my story as I muse about this. The gates through the channels. Okay, and then on the elemental highway, there we go. Sorry, I'm having an ear pop. But this is a great day. Look at that. We've got Yang Fire, a Yang Fire horse of a day, freedom, passionate, fire energy, charismatic, charming, two big golden suns up there. And just musing about my chart. So energetically, these, you know, they all play out for each of us anyway. But I have tons of fire in my chart, like imploding fire, quite honestly, almost too much. And when you have too much, sometimes they call it a follow sun chart. I don't quite have that, but I have no water. So water for me is actually, it's a benefit. It's a factor. It's my useful element, actually, water. And being that we have water on the year, and I've entered a water in my 10-year, water is a resource for me to bring my chart into balance. But those two big golden suns are producing a lot of earth, the dragon. So the energy is very excitable. It's action orientated. It's Mars. We're in the season of Aries, kind of finishing, nipping and tucking there. But we have a combo of yin earth and yang earth between the horse and the dragon. So the dragon brings contemplation, creation, steady building, fortifying energy. And we do have a nice energy of resources, the yin wood, keeping our fire going without raging out of control. Yang would be a different flavor for our day. And the yin water, that's bringing the sun a moment of reflection, where the sun can reflect, hopefully, on how far we've actually come. So just recognizing our own inner power, the power that we have inside of us, igniting the flames, being in the flow, like water, the rivers, you know, you're kind of getting the idea. Again, though, we're missing metal of all things. Metal to a fire day or a fire day master is actually wealth. So this would be like creating something refined, refining something. Yang fire forges metal into something new and useful, a tool. So it's time to kind of fine tune how we're seen out into the world again. So this is transformation. Remember, change the way you see your world, and the world outside of you changes. It transforms. So being in the season of Aries, the way we treat ourselves is the way the world outside of us treats us. So it's kind of that energy. So hold your emotional tone for all of the transformations, the changes that you really wish to see in your life. Vision it. Pour a full pour of love, add value to that creation, protecting the value, and it doesn't cost money for value or to treat people with value or undervalue humans, right? We've all experienced this. So if you do have a situation where you aren't feeling valued, you may discover that it's time to lift the drawbridge to a new door, opening a new door maybe. I would say yes. So knowing that we are blessed with the ability to manifest at the abundance level, it's in the feelings of how we're treating ourselves with and as a value for ourselves. So it's not wise to allow others to treat us with anything less than being felt or value. You feel it, right? And we all know what people, energy never lies, feelings, right? So how do they make you feel? So how was the Two of Swords for you yesterday? Did you do a full body scan? Did you reflect? Did you find some old memoirs, maybe some painful experiences that you were shedding, forgiving, creating new, healthier habits, patterns, and all that shifting transformation? So something that may have felt safe and secure moving forward today, we do have the Three of Swords, it's otherworldly. There it is. Thank you. Sorry, I've got a light flickering over here. But the 3 is Jupiter. Jupiter's in Aries, and it's at the 23rd degree. So that's being mindful of our thoughts and our attitudes about a belief, a feeling that we came to expand on our inner knowing. My son has Gemini at the 23rd degree, and he knows. He's a knower. You cannot. He just gets gut feelings, and he's usually spot on. So I like to ask him those kinds of questions. But this generally signals a heartache, a heartbreak, the swords, right? But it's otherworldly. So it kind of serves as an acknowledgement that we are in, or we're close to the ebb. Maybe we're not in the flow, but we're at the ebb. We're at the pinnacle. So things may feel hard, maybe harder than hard, actually. But despite the place we find ourselves in, it's important to really understand, have some knowledge that sometimes this is part of life, the energetic hiccups, the memos, the memoirs, right? So we need the contrast, we need the paradox of the experience in order to, I think it's kind of gratitude, not just living fully, but being grateful for how far we've come. You know, sometimes we have to touch all these parts of who we are within ourselves, and we need to experience both the joy and the pain along with the heartache, because those are memories, right? So often, it's otherworldly, this message, it doesn't feel very comforting usually, but it's in the allowing, it's in just allowing it to flow, to settle into our heart and feeling the fullness of what it is. It's not a day to wash over our hurt and our pains and our struggles or our ego, maybe engaging in, you know, a lot of people put the Band-Aid on whatever's happening for them. So how we sit with this message all depends on our relationship with all of those things like grief, loss, pain, breakups, betrayal, hurt. You know, do we repress it? Do we slide into anger because it feels safe? Do we try to numb ourselves through alcohol or other addictions? Most often, happens all the time, when we feel pain, our natural instinct is to escape, to make it stop somehow. And it's really a challenge to embrace it. Finding comfort in our pain, right? Which is actually our root center is the pain. It's the physicality of it into the bones, the structuring. But how we approach our pain often impacts us on some level, and we carry it through time and space, years and years, futuring it. So kind of examine your patterns, see if there are any steps that we can take to be more present, to be more fluid. But being otherworldly, it's also a moment of maybe we're not processing the hurt, the grief in a healthy way, a charismatic way. I mean, even fire transforms. You can bring in fire to forge the pain into something healing. So maybe you're struggling to move on from the past. Maybe there's parts that are just lingering in the pain, the breakup, the hurt, you know, the denial maybe. So we need to push ourselves a little bit to actually move forward, vision the life you want to live. Maybe it's an indication that we're kind of creating the pain for ourselves with especially how we talk to ourselves, right? The mind is a tool. And Jupiter at that 23rd degree hitting the mind could just be that negative self-talk that we are it's it's flourishing. So if you've been hard on yourself or being negative, it would be a great time to work hard on shifting those thoughts and those patterns. And have you unnecessarily been being a bitch to Cinderella, pissing on the greatest treasure of all, yourself? Just know you're done. Done. We're over it. We're hitting the pinnacle. So go to the healing waters, find the emotional tone, humming inside to the outside. Take a bow in the mirror. Be in authentic gratitude for all the memos of life, the experience this far, so far. And get ready. Prepare yourself for the best is yet to come. The universe always is working in our favor. We've got this galactic, supersized new moon. So if you aren't feeling very creative, go get some wild orange essential oil, peel some oranges, boil the rinds in some water, freshening up your house. It'll spark your olfactory system and the world around you. Go plant some seeds of what you are able to commit to manifest. Be creative. See the vision. Create a vision board of what the growth of that seed actually looks like. Go paint. Go be an artist. Harvesting a new you. So I would affirm that I'm planting seeds of my own authentic transformation and I'm watching them grow. The abundance is what we're offering the world returns to us what the world is able to offer us. It's a resonance, right? So be in a state of self-loving, cleansing our auric fields and detach from anyone and everything that's dimming your light. Go to the waters for the cleansing, the reconciling, the forgiving. So you're able to be in the skin shining like a fresh new penny. That's the energy of this. So I would just, go to your stars and join me for Change Your Stars if your heart feels called. And I'll see you on the other side. Blessings. Thanks for tuning in.
So old. And they're way younger than I am now, you know. And so here I was, this kid painting with these women, and they were so amazing, just wise and generous. And it was just an incredible experience. So I didn't have necessarily formal training, and I painted in high school and then went off to college, started working, and didn't do, I pretty much stopped doing anything like that until I was 32. And then as I was working, work was just really stressful. And I'm like, you know what? I've got to get back to my creativity. I just totally let it go. And so I took this adult painting class, and I remember painting this one adult ed painting class. I painted this apple, and I remember thinking someday I could paint a whole still life with lots of things. So, and so I did this, and it was like, this is what I need to do. I mean, this is, I've got